Hello, YouTubers. This is Trainman122. So I got my first request, and well, as per the usual, it always came from Travis. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do his request here. So he only requested that I use the AC44 on a long, heavy freight train, or at least that's LHF. That's what I believe it stands for. Didn't get any decoding booklet with his comment, so I'm gonna go with that. So as of right now, I got my character here. Pretty standard. I think he looks a little too well dressed considering the career he chose. It's not my choice. I didn't decide that. Let's go ahead and continue with that. So here's the screen where you choose between the two. You can go with the Great Western Express, which is the British Paddington to Reading. Or you can go CSX Heavy Haul, which is basically the entire, well, most of Sandpatch Grade. I don't believe it's all of it, but there you have it. Let's go ahead and make a decision here with picking the AC44. Now I could spawn walking and then pick a location to start at and a time to start at and just grab the first AC44 I see and hook it on up and everything, but then it's gonna bother me with how it's gonna tell me, oh, this train doesn't start until 1654. Oh yeah, that's right. So you know what, that's kind of annoying. What I then plan on doing is that I'm just going to go into the service mode with the AC44 in hand and just pick from one of the trains and consists that it can continue with. So there were no further descriptions on the type of environment setting. I'm going to go ahead and check, just pick at random. Winter fog. That's boring. Alright, I am clearly not doing something right here. Let's go in reverse. Ooh. Autumn drizzle. That looks nice. Let's go with that. Alright. Intermodal, coal, auto rack, light engine, intermodal. As far as weight goes, I'm gonna go with the coal. It's heavy, and there's no doubt about that. Hey look, train stats. It would probably be a great idea to... yeah, never mind. What the heck is this thing? Oh, okay. I'm gonna call her Becky. So anyway, let's go ahead and have a look around here. Yeah, that's a freight train. Glad we got that out of the way. And it's definitely in YN2 like I asked. Everything appears to be just fine here. Let's go ahead and do that. Back headlights are going to stay that way. Air pressure is at 83, fluctuating between 83 and 82, and 84. It shouldn't be doing that. That shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to go ahead and say the game is having an issue. Control, turn that on. Yeah, when they're lit up like this, that means they're working properly. No, it doesn't. Okay, they're on. Let's go with heat high. No, not high fan. I have enough fans, thank you. There we go. Just whatever. Why not? There we are. Everything appears to be in order. Ugh. Difficulty curve. It's nil. What's this? Short hood lead. That is where we are going to set that. Our headlights should be on the short ahead, which is that nose, leading. As for this, AC44 hates me. AC44 hates me. That's alright. Chain, cross. Chain. We'll just leave that down. One thing that I've always noticed is that these trains tend to not be set up 100% accurate. If you can see that white light right there, that white circle, that's basically the headlight of this locomotive shining back at the coal car. That shouldn't be happening. And that's why I'm going to fix it by doing this. Excuse me, you should not be short hood trail. You should be single or middle unit, meaning there are no lights on in here. That is very good. Very, very good. Everything else turned off. Looks like it. Alright. Yeah, I know you hate me. I hate you too. It's very mutual. It's very respectful. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and cross again. Close that one, close mine, and we are all set to go. Now that, some savvy viewers might recognize as an old Baltimore and Ohio, or B&O Railroad signal, of which I believe to be... No! What? Pushing the wrong button, like a noob. Why didn't you tell me? You seeing somebody else on the side? What? I've been replaced, ladies and gentlemen. Not even running the train correctly. Look at you. Independent brake in full. How are you driving right now? The throttle's not even down. I'm just... It's gonna get really awkward here, so let me just... I'm sorry. Really? Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, I have lost control of the train. Sheesh. Things a guy has to do. So... I'm gonna go ahead and go on for record here. I meant to hit no. That one was completely my fault. I realize I hit yes. Now, I'm back where I need to be, and okay, I will call you Clyde. Yeah, you keep doing that. Set this to bright auxiliary. Well, we can set it to just medium for now. Okay, stop doing that. Set it to dim. Yeah, we'll set it to dim for now. We're not moving yet. It says I can go. Now, as I was politely trying to talk about signals, it's going to freeze on me. 1 second. I don't know why it does this. It's just gonna be a thing for a while. Burlington, Baltimore and Ohio signals. The light at the top, I believe, means highball, meaning maximum allowed speed at, you know, whatever the maximum allowed speed is on this route. I will look at that as soon as I get back into the seat. The one main issue I have with all this is that they don't give you what's known as a timetable or a waybill. Some of you might recognize that kind of a terminology from Trains with a Z. The waybill was all the information on your train. Oh my goodness. It told you how heavy each train car was and so forth, as well as what your motive power was, what was in every car. It was something that is completely necessary for all trains. And then for this one, timetables would be completely necessary here. Timetables tell you certain mileposts, certain locations, and also the speed at certain locations. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury of having a timetable. Instead, if you see in the bottom right there, let me go ahead and backlight it. There. I'm given a speedometer. Now there's quite a bit going on here. I can explain every piece of it, but I'm going to try and shorten it. This little red bar here is my speed limit. I'm allowed 40 miles an hour as I sit here. I am on a 0.6% ascending grade. I'm going uphill. I don't know what this attendee symbol looks like. I don't know what that's all about. Amps, how many voltage I'm putting into the putting into the traction motors. The gear, if I'm in neutral, which I am. What notch I've set it into. This one appears to be something to do with the traction motors. I haven't the foggiest idea. This is the equalizing reservoir. This is the brake pressure. I don't know why it's fidgeting. It's still fidgeting, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this thing. It's just bouncing all over the place. It kind of does that in real life, but it's slower. It slowly ticks down, and when it gets to a low enough rate, the air compressor kicks back in, pushes it back up, and then it restarts the whole process all over again. Here, it's just decided to bounce around because it doesn't know what to do. Yeah, okay. And then, of course, there's time. It's currently 8:15 a.m. Well, 8:14 a.m. if you want to be technical, but don't. Just don't. Alright. My windshield wipers, because that is a really blurry vision right there. Let's go ahead and do... set that to full force. You too. Right there. Oh, that was the back windshield wiper. Yeah, there's ones on the back window as well. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off. Turn that on. That's better. They're not in sync in any way, shape, or form. We're gonna live with it because I've been sitting here for a good 5 minutes when I should be driving a train. So let's go ahead and drive a train. Now, in my previous video, I looked at all the controls and actually handled all of them. For this one, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to start using the keyboard. I apologize if you liked watching each and every piece move about, but it can get kind of tedious. It can get a little bit more difficult, especially when you need to make a quick movement and the mouse camera won't stay still. So I'm just gonna position myself right here. That should do. That's the train brake. Well, okay. That's the train brake. Why is my independent going nowhere? Well, at least I know where the train brake is. So, we're gonna go ahead and forward. Bell. Lights. Horn. And then bail off. And nice easy. Now, notch 4 is a bit much. In hindsight, yeah, let's go to notch 3. The bell can turn off now. So, I want to at least get this train up to speed. I don't know if I'm going to go for a full run here. A full run would probably last me somewhere into the 1 hour range. I'm not really up for uploading 1 hour videos, even if it's minimal editing. I just kind of feel like people aren't going to pay that much attention to it. So, let me just get this train up to speed, and if something interesting happens, I'll keep it going. But otherwise, I believe this is just a straight run all the way from the coal mine at the northern part of this route all the way down to the Cumberland Yard in Maryland. So it's not likely going to be too amazing, nothing special, maybe a train or two that's going to pass by us, but nothing major. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll about do that. So let's get my hair wet. Yeah. Alright, I guess that won't come down far enough. I'm not gonna be wet today. Now that we're up to speed, we can pretty much throttle it up, get those amps pumping. You're gonna want to pay attention to your amps. If you do too much, you could pull a knuckle out of place. Pulling a knuckle out of place means you pretty much break it, and your train will come apart and your air hoses will detach and your air will leave the system, which causes what we call an emergency application. Involuntary. That's fun. It's always fun. I don't even know if the simulator actually simulates that. I know Run 8 does. Another one of the many reasons I love Run 8, and I'm shamelessly plugging another simulator while playing this one. Oh well, so sue me. You can't, because you don't own Run 8. Trees. As far as I can tell, the gold coin system in the top right doesn't seem to do anything. It's something they added along with the Great Western Express update. I've not seen it do anything, but there have been talks about this entire simulator getting a multiplayer update at some point in time in the future. There are no definite dates whatsoever, and there's not even any definite on the multiplayer aspect of it. It's just a... They said it's going to be multiplayer. The actual developers said this. However, it's not come up yet. There's no update that's going to add multiplayer in the works yet, as far as we know. But otherwise, I think this game's pretty solid by itself. Once you can get it running, once you get past some of the choppiness, some of the minor bugs here and there. I can't apparently walk down the catwalk without some kind of a glitch. A little bit of a freeze frame. I don't know why, it just kind of happens. Just drop the amps. And the train should lose speed by itself. We seem to be doing fairly well. Although I also realize that I have taken off the speed limit warning device. One thing this... another thing this simulator hasn't done quite well is the advanced speed limit warning. In real life, you would come across a sign planted along the tracks, much like how I've been seeing them passing us by. And one would be crooked. It would say a number, be it, let's say, 30. But the sign itself would be at a diagonal angle. That means an advanced... it gives you an advanced warning to slow down to 30. And I believe it's up to a mile or sometimes 2 miles, an advanced warning. That's a clear signal. So I'm all set. I'm still good. This is milepost 2241-2. Okay. So this simulator doesn't do that, unfortunately. I'm clipping around. Oh yeah, look at this. I'm clipping along right now My speed has actually upgraded to 45 miles per hour. I had no clue. I did not know. There we go. I think I just found the independent brake button on my keyboard. Any case, I'm now speeding up. Let's see if I can catch that next speed limit sign before it catches me. But, you know, this simulator doesn't really do anything for speeding. It'll go yellow, it'll go red on your speedometer here if you're over speeding by more than 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. But it's more of a slap on the wrist. I have played entire scenarios where I accidentally went over speed, mostly due to the fact it doesn't warn you ahead of time properly. But you know, I went over speed a couple of times. And it was on an entire scenario. Yeah, I'm supposed to be down to 40. Yeah, see that? 39 miles an hour. Now I'm speeding. That's annoying. That is very, very annoying. Probably a little bit of train brake. Yep. It's down to, I believe that to be 35. Or close to it anyway. Yeah, that's 35. And we're on flat terrain now, so the terrain's not going to help me slow down any. I believe, actually, most of this is going to be downhill. In any case, that's out of the way. Nothing's happening. I mean, really, nothing's happened. I've actually oversped a little bit, and I've got 700 coins. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's very nice scenery, though. Well, not much to talk about now. Train's just chugging along, doing just fine at 35 miles an hour. 31. I believe those are floodlights or radio towers. Now we're going up a hill, and I still got to clear. The red light underneath it doesn't actually mean anything to me at the moment. If it were in fact a red over green, that basically means slow clear. I'd be diverging onto a different track, allowed at speed 30 miles an hour. The game doesn't tell you that. I just happen to know it because I went through training on this. Also, please note that it was from the General Code of Operating Rules that I learned from, not NORAC. See, East Coast railroads, most of them in any case, work off of the NORAC NORAC rulebook, including CSX. And, well, considering that Dovetail Games modeled the entire game, Dovetail modeled the entire simulator after CSX route, I would presume they got a lot of the signals correct. Mind you, the only thing I'm actually complaining about is the lack of explanation on those signals and a lack of warning. That says 35. Yeah, I'm still at 35. The upper speed limit was for passenger. I believe this must have some kind of an Amtrak sort of route to it, or something like that. But basically the speed limit on top is passenger, speed limit on the bottom is freight. So 35 for freight, 45 for passenger. And there are some exceptions in some cases, but for now I'm sticking to the 35. Wow, these tracks are quiet. Not even a train passing. Like, what is going on? Alright. Make sure I don't overspeed. It says I'm only 1.9 miles from the location I'm going to. It doesn't say I'm supposed to stop there, though. It's all about the stop, not about the journey. Journey can get a little bit boring sometimes unless you can appreciate scenery. And damn, that is some good scenery. Hard to appreciate it when you're supposed to be paying attention to the rails in front of you and all the signals, and you don't get proper warnings, so now you have to pay extra attention. Yeah, lots of curves. What do we have here? 35 again. The reason they would do something like that, showing the speed limit sign multiple times, is because if a train were to recrew at a different location, it helps the engineers remember what the speed limit is, as well as if they join the main line at a different location, they would need to remember what the speed limit is. The timetable helps with that. However, they don't have one in here. And in real life, they just do it anyway. Just happens. Just happens. It's a nice wind farm. A bridge! Sustenance! Something to look at! Car! And it's gone. So, oh, that's a bridge. Okay. I was going to say, if that's a crossing, I did not see a whistle post. I'm a whistle anyway, just to spite you. I believe... Wait a minute, have I reached the summit? This track beside me looks a lot like the summit track. I don't think I did. It's a little too flat to be the summit already. You know what, as long as it's not throwing more sudden speed restrictions at me, I'm just gonna allow it. So what do we have here? 35 again. Yeah, well, that's pretty consistent at least. What's that? Yeah, another milepost marker. And nice winding curve here. Look a lot nicer if there was another train around. Oh, we're within 1,000 yards of the objective. Nice and easy. From here I can see that I have a clear signal on the top. Everyone else has a red. We kind of lost our scenery. Too many trees and it's not up next to me anymore. But at least looks like there's something that's going to be going on up here. It's probably another junction. Yep, looks like another junction. I'd swear. Ah, yeah, okay. Objective complete. I'm going to via... Alright, now it's sand patch number 1 in 5.6 miles. Now, that sounds a lot like the summit. Couldn't tell you if it was. I have no clue. Ooh, pretty water. Guys, I don't know how long this is gonna go on for. I'm looking for something interesting, and besides scenery, it's been pretty quiet. Trust me when I say coal is the heaviest freight train you can get. It's pretty, well, okay, maybe not heaviest, but in this particular case, the simulator only has coal, boxcars, tankers. I don't think it has flat cars of any kind. We have autoracks and intermodals. I believe one of the future updates is talking about adding new boxcars and a center beam, which is a type of flat car. It's also talking about adding a Jeep 40, general purpose 40-2. Nice 3,000 horsepower, 2-axle EMD. 35 again. Alright. Oh, what's this? A whistle post. Old-fashioned stone whistle post sign. Yay! A railroad crossing. Now, I do want to remind you guys that this, these whistle posts are a bit far out. So I can start honking probably right about now-ish. Pretty successful. Nobody got hit. Yeah, that's nothing. Train bridge. And a big train bridge. Now, I'm told by a friend that is an old train bridge. It belonged to another railroad. It's basically just a massive trestle. Oh, don't do that to me. Don't complain. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't complain. It's basically a massive trestle that belonged to another railroad. I can't for the life of me remember which railroad. I want to say nickel plate, but I'm probably wrong. Really, game? Really? That's a pretty nice view. I don't know how long that ditch light is going to go on for. It's not supposed to go on for that long. By the way, yes, this simulator does have super elevation. Oh, a signal. That's kind of important, isn't it? Well, that looks like that's the cutoff for the coal line. It's available. That's a different way, though. Let's see here. That's a bridge. Well, you know what? I think this is about good. I'm sorry, everybody. If you were looking for a full-fledged 45-minute run, 60-minute run, hour-and-a-half run, I would be more than happy to do that for you, but that's not what the request was. It was just to run a long, heavy freight train with an AC44. I did it. It's not that hard. They're powerful. Just saying, step up your game. Want to make it challenging? Go for the gold. But, Deforestation. We got a crossing coming up, so I'm going to have a little bit of fun there. Let's see if I can go ahead and stop the train before that crossing. Mind you guys, this is only 30 miles an hour. I have not put the train into emergency. I have done a full release. I'm sorry, a full application is what I meant to say. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. And I've almost hit the crossing. This is why you don't park cars on the tracks. You don't play on the train tracks. It takes a while. That was only at 30. Imagine if I was doing full speed. 35, 40. Let's just get off. Yeah, I know. Hate me all you want, game. At this point, if you're just going to keep doing that to me, I'm going to keep calling you a game. Ooh, pretty. My goodness, it's legible. Yeah, it's gonna keep hissing. I don't know why. Yeah, unfortunately everything has this invisible wall. I can't go beyond this point. It looks like a quaint little town, though. Don't do this at home, kids, okay? I'm in a Freeze up on me, why don't you? I am in a simulator where nobody's going to get hurt. I want to point that out. I am in a simulator. I'm not going to get hurt. No one else is going to get hurt by this. So you shouldn't do this at home. What was that? You shouldn't do this anywhere. Oh, you know what? This is like one of the well-known towns. It's another crossing. They get quite the warning. Oh, hey, people. I legitimately did not know there were people. They have them for Great Western Express because it's a passenger train and, you know, it's... Yeah, sure, go ahead. It's people, you know, getting on and off the train, so I guess maybe they just kind of updated this route with that? I don't know. Alright, the train is coming. I'm going to cross while the bars are down. This is a big no-no. But I wanted to be on this side. You never do that in real life. Keeping that point clear. By the way, it's very sad. They don't honk. The AI that's currently controlling the locomotive, it doesn't honk. It's sad. You also don't want to walk backwards. Don't do that. Don't look at me with that face. You saw that, right? The conductor just gave me the... Yeah. Don't look at me like that. You also probably don't want to be walking this close to the train tracks while there's active movement. Definitely don't want to walk up to the train and touch it, but you know, it's a simulator. No one's going to get hurt. No one should imitate this at all. If anything, you should just purchase the simulator if you can. Get it running on your computer. And just, you know, have some fun with it. Do the things you wouldn't normally do. Traffic cone. Traffic cone. It's a lie. You got up to speed pretty quick. But yeah, this is one of those towns. Oh, hey, look, a collectible. So, it also has collectibles for those of you who are hoarders. Hard hats, safety signs. Hard hats, safety signs, and reflective markers. Are you guys okay? Oh. Game's not okay. Game is not okay. Okay. Alright. I'm sure the train is well outside the area now. So it is. All gone. Yep. Alright. As I was saying, collectibles. Hard hats, reflective markers, and safety signs. I believe I've just found a hard hat. As you can see, I haven't really done that much. Always look both ways before you cross. This is a type of station. It's, I think it's like well known for the area that it was built in. A lot of people like it. I remember that much. I think it looks pretty. There's a couple few of them too. This place might have been some kind of a special depot. Maybe a transportation hub. Probably a long time ago. I don't think these are used for freight commerce anymore. They look more like museums, hotels, motels, housing. Maybe. Let's just have a nice look at this one over here and just admire the scenery. If this simulator does one thing right, it's just create atmosphere. It's really, really beautiful. Everything's quiet. Mayorsdale. Oh, I can walk up here? I actually didn't know this. Whoa, how far does this one go? Best not to ask too many questions on that one. I think I've gone back in time. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to bail. Bail. Run away!